This is not an easy video for me to make because it brings me back to a very dark place in my life. But this is the reality of when a woman creates false allegations and lies to take advantage of a man in court, to take advantage of a man in family court. But the truth is, we don't think about what this truly does to a man when the woman he loves creates false allegations and lies so that she can take everything from him. His kids, his money, his job, his freedom, self-worth. We don't think about what that does to a man mentally. And that's where the real injustice is. What it does to a man's mind, what it does to his mental health, what it does to his psyche. That's the real injustice, because that's what kills men. I want to tell you my story because I want to make it real. I want to make sure you understand what it does from firsthand experience. So just a little backstory. My ex-wife and her family created false allegations against me. They created a narrative that I was mentally unstable and that I was dangerous so that they could take advantage of me in the divorce, so that my ex-wife could basically take everything from me and have zero recourse, because creating false allegations and lies means that the courts and the justice system are on her side, and that basically handcuffs me from any type of recourse of trying to get my things back or trying to make peace or trying to talk things out, because she didn't want to do that. She wanted to take everything and leave me here and run away from the situation completely. And the easiest way to run away from the situation completely is to create false allegations and lies so the protective orders can go into place, so that you go to jail, so that you have to deal with fines, you have to deal with lawyer fees, so you have to deal with all of these things that do not allow you to actually put your life back together and move on. So in my marriage, I went through quite a bit of abuse, a lot of controlling, she always had to be right. My opinion didn't matter. What I wanted out of life didn't matter. It was all about her. And it broke me down, along with things that I was dealing with in my job, things I'm dealing with in the world. It put me in a very dark place because I felt like I didn't matter anymore, that my opinion didn't matter, what I had to say didn't matter. And so it backed me into a corner and I went into a depression. When my wife divorced me, she took full advantage of my mental state and my depression, which allowed her to take everything from me. And when the fog started to lift and I started to realize exactly what was going on, that's when her family created the false allegations and the lies. And what happened because of those false allegations and lies is I spent over 2 months in jail. I became a felon. I was put on house arrest. I now have to wear an ankle monitor. I'm not allowed to travel, I'm not allowed to vote, I'm not allowed to own a pew-pew. I'm basically not allowed to do anything. I can no longer work in an industry that I spent 20 years building a reputation and a career. Because of these false allegations, my entire life was set on fire. Just because my ex-wife wanted to take our home, which had a lot of equity in it, take my own personal property, take my dogs. And she wanted to make sure that I couldn't put my life back together so that no other woman would ever want me again. And that's the reality of it. What did it do to me mentally? While I was in jail multiple times over about a 2-month period, I was physically assaulted in jail by multiple men. I was abused by the justice system and told that basically I didn't matter and my opinion didn't matter. My lawyer was zero help even though I paid them well over $6,000. They said there was nothing they could do. Mentally, it broke me. I couldn't work, couldn't focus on anything. I was depressed, went through a lot of times where I didn't want to live anymore because I was back in such a bad corner that I could not get my life back together. I could not move forward. She made the world believe that I was crazy, which made me believe that I was crazy. My PTSD from the whole situation is so bad that if I hear noises outside, I hear banging, I hear just normal things, then my anxiety goes through the roof and I have to meditate. I have to journal. I have to go through an entire process to bring myself to the present. I'm scared to leave my motel room at times. When I had an apartment, I was scared to leave the apartment. Anytime anybody knocked on my door, I was terrified because at one time I had the cops kick in my door. There's so many things that I could say that it's done to my mental health that's embarrassing. Because of a few lies, because of the false allegations, I lost everything. I lost myself for a while. I isolate from the world because I'm scared of the world. And that's the reality of it. It's hard for me to truly explain to you what I've gone through, but the key here is that when someone decides to create false allegations because they want to be greedy, it really messes people up and it really messes men up. And that's why the suicide rate for men is so high, because of lies, because of false allegations, because it puts men in a place where they believe they're crazy and the entire world believes they're crazy because that's what their ex-wife wants everyone to believe. Not a lot of people talk about is the trauma and the PTSD that comes with dealing with false allegations in divorce or in child custody cases, or just false allegations, period. Not a lot of people talk about it because it's not easy to talk about. It's not easy to express what you've gone through and to relive those moments. Because if you've had lies, false allegations put against you, And the courts, it'll put you in a dark place to think about it because you don't have control over your life. You don't have control over what's about to happen to you. You don't have control over anything. Because a lot of times, especially for men, when false allegations are made against us in family court, no one believes us. No one wants to hear our side of the story, and it doesn't matter what evidence we have. I deal with PTSD every day, every single day, because of what I've gone through. The mental prison that I'm in a lot of times is nothing that I can explain to someone unless you've been in that situation. False allegations that have been put against me have not only set my entire life on fire when it comes to my finances, what I'm able to do, where I live, where I go, but the mental prison that it has put me in is something that most will never understand. It'll make you feel like you're crazy. It'll make you feel like you don't have any reason to live anymore. It'll make you believe things that aren't true because people have taken such advantage of you that you can't trust anyone anymore. I worked really hard to overcome this and to try to do something good with everything that I've been through. But the truth is, it's something that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life because the situation isn't over and it sucks. And it really sucks because a few sentences by someone has taken away everything I've worked for 40 years. Everything. A few sentences by someone has backed me into a corner that is almost impossible to get out of. And it was all done because of greed, ego, pride, and unhealed trauma. But I can't go to the courts and express that because they don't care. So if you're dealing with PTSD, if you're dealing with trauma from false allegations, I understand. And if you need help with that, I'll do my best to help you with it because I've learned how to overcome parts of it, but it's still there. There's nothing I can do about it. And it's going to be there for a long time. My name is Justin Hutchison, and I'm a survivor of mental, emotional, and financial abuse by my ex-wife and her family. I hear people all the time say that men cannot be emasculated unless they choose to be, that men are not abused by women. I'm living proof that men are abused by women. I'm one of the lucky ones. I am still here to tell my story. There's been so many men over the years that have lost their lives battling depression and hopelessness because of the mental, emotional, and financial abuse they went through. I'm a man, and I've gone through some of the worst abuse possible. I've been told that my story doesn't matter. It does matter. And it's time that we change our perception on men and the abuse they go through in marriages and divorce. I am a survivor, and my story does matter. PTSD from abusive relationships with traumatic situations with family courts or false allegations, it's a real thing. And the problem is you have a lot of doctors and therapists who try to put Band-Aids on shotgun wounds. They want to prescribe you anti-anxiety meds. They want to prescribe you depression medication to deal with the symptoms of your PTSD. But what they're not doing is actually getting to the foundation of why you have PTSD. The reason you have PTSD is because of the traumatic situation you went through. And the reason you're having issues overcoming it is because you do not feel safe. Your body is constantly in survival mode, and you're just waiting for the next shoe to drop. You're waiting for the next issue to happen. And the only way to overcome that type of mindset that PTSD gives you is to take a more holistic approach. And you do that through meditation. You do that through breath work. You do that through journaling. You do that by putting yourself in better environments. You can't get out of survival mode if you're constantly waiting for the next shoe to drop, for the next issue to happen, for your spouse to yell at you or get pissed, for the cops to knock on your door, for that email to come in giving you horrific news about whatever you're dealing with. You're going to constantly be in survival mode. We have to rewire the brain to understand that we are safe and that all of those horrible things that happened to us in the past are not going to happen to us again. Once we're able to get to that point, that's when we can actually start the healing process. We can actually start healing from that. But as long as you're in survival mode, you're always going to have that anxiety, that depression, and those issues feeling safe. Something that not a lot of people talk about is the trauma and the PTSD that comes with dealing with false allegations in divorce or in child custody cases, or just false allegations, period. Not a lot of people talk about it because it's not easy to talk about. It's not easy to express what you've gone through and to relive those moments. Because if you've had lies, false allegations put against you in the courts, it'll put you in a dark place to think about it. Because you don't have control over your life. You don't have control over what's about to happen to you. You don't have control over anything. Because a lot of times, especially for men, when false allegations are made against us in family court, no one believes us. No one wants to hear our side of the story, and it doesn't matter what evidence we have. I deal with PTSD every day, every single day, because of what I've gone through. The mental prison that I'm in a lot of times is nothing that I can explain to someone unless you've been in that situation. False allegations that have been put against me have not only set my entire life on fire when it comes to my finances, what I'm able to do, where I live, where I go, but the mental prison that it has put me in is something that most will never understand. It'll make you feel like you're crazy. It'll make you feel like you don't have any reason to live anymore. It'll make you believe things that aren't true because people have taken such advantage of you that you can't trust anyone anymore. I worked really hard to overcome this and to try to do something good with everything that I've been through. But the truth is, it's something that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life because the situation isn't over and it sucks. And it really sucks because a few sentences by someone has taken away everything I've worked for 40 years. Everything. A few sentences by someone has backed me into a corner that is almost impossible to get out of. And it was all done because of greed, ego, pride, and unhealed trauma. But I can't go to the courts and express that because they don't care. So if you're dealing with PTSD, if you're dealing with trauma from false allegations, I understand. And if you need help with that, I'll do my best to help you with it because I've learned how to overcome parts of it, but it's still there. There's nothing I can do about it. And it's going to be there for a long time. But it's criminal what's been done to me and what's been done to a lot of men when it comes to divorce, when it comes to custody battles. So if you're one of those men, I'm sorry. Reach out to me and I'll do my best to help you through this. I see the exact same pattern over and over again when it comes to false allegations and someone painting a false narrative about a spouse in family court. The pattern I see is it's very simple. It's usually the person who is creating these false allegations is someone who is abused as a child, be that mentally, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. It's someone who has an insane amount of unhealed trauma from their childhood. And because of that, this person needs to have control. They need the courts and everyone in their life to look at them as the victim. I talked to hundreds of men and women who are going through the exact same thing. This false narrative is created to make them look like the bad guy, so that their ex looks like the victim. And this is nothing more than a defense mechanism that person learned at a young age. They learned this when they were being abused by their family. The worst thing in the world for this person is for them to look like the bad guy. So they're going to stoop as low as humanly possible to make you look like the bad guy, when actually you are probably the one who got abused. And the problem we have is judges and lawyers are not trained to see these type of things. This is not an excuse for the people that create false allegations. This is just the facts, and this is what I see. I think the way that we fix this is that when we step into family court for a divorce or a custody case, both individuals need to go through a psychiatric evaluation to get to the root problem, to see who is actually mentally stable and to see who is actually telling the truth. We have to learn how to see the red flags, because sometimes we miss red flags because of our own unhealed trauma, because of things that we've gone through. So we miss red flags because at the end of the day, we just want to be loved. The biggest red flags that I've missed in women that I will never miss again is a woman that always has to be right. She can never be wrong. If she says something wrong, does something wrong to you, she never apologizes. Women that always need to be right are women that are in their masculine energy. They're extremely insecure women. And a woman who is in her masculine energy and very insecure is a very dangerous woman. It's in that masculine energy because of childhood trauma or past relationship trauma that needs to be healed. And you have to understand this. Her need to always be right, to be in control, trumps her feelings for you. So if things go bad between you two, she will do everything she can to ruin you because she has to play the victim. She can't be wrong. She can't be the bad person. She has to make you the bad person.
You have something I want.
Grogu?
Yes. That's his name.
You may think you have some idea of what you're in possession of.
You mean his powers?
But you do not.
The Force is what gives him his powers. To wield it takes a great deal of training and discipline.
He's stubborn.
Not him. You. I want to see if he'll listen to you.
This is the one that you hunted, then saved?
Yes. The one that saved me as well.
From the Mudhorn?
Yes.
It looks helpless.
You're very special, kid. We're gonna find that place you belong, and they're gonna take real good care of you. But you have to agree to go with them if they want you to. Understand?
In a few moments, it will be mine.
Just stay there. I'll be back soon.
Means more to me than you will ever know.
The child's gone.
Till he has returned to you safely, we are in your debt.
You're like a father to him. I cannot train him.
Why not? You've seen what he can do.
His attachment to you makes him vulnerable to his fears. His anger.
We need coordinates from Moff Gideon's cruiser. They have the kid.
I can't get those coordinates unless I have access to an internal Imperial terminal. Let's say goodbye to your little green friend.
You're not going alone. I'm coming with you. But I won't be showing my face.
I don't know, seems to me like your rules start to change when you get desperate.
If we don't get those coordinates, I'll lose the kid forever.
Everybody's got their lines they don't cross until things get messy.
You have something I want. You may think you have some idea what you are in possession of, but you do not. Soon, he will be back with me. He means more to me than you will ever know. Grogu,
Try to connect with him.
I see your bond with him.
I'll see you again.
You are as its father.
It'll take care of you.
You're like a father to him.
I promise. Open the doors. Wait. They said 50 years old.
Species age differently. This is what was causing all the fuss?
It's time to go. I think it's a child. I was helped by an enemy.
Why would an enemy help you in battle?
It did not know it was my enemy.
Try to connect with him.
It's not a toy. I've seen him do things I can't explain. No, stop! He doesn't want to go with you.
He wants your permission.
That's right. I knew you could do it. Very good.
He's formed a strong attachment to you.
You are a clan of two.
Queel, do you copy? Queel!
I see your bond with him.
You're like a father to him.